Oh, how much joy do I get from your channel. Belle is such an incredible creature. Please accept my small donation. I wish it could be more, but times are really hard. Love from the UK. From Elsie.
Well, thank you, Elsie. I'm glad you enjoy our little channel. And hey, Elsie, every little bit helps us. And we're so grateful for everyone and their kindness and lives. But thank you so much.
Kevin says, shh, be very, very quiet. Belle is hunting rabbits.
Yes, she does hunt rabbits.
And then
Um, Go ahead.
we have
Sorry.
6 replies to his comment.
Hmm.
Shirley says, nice one. Estella just says laughing emojis. Musa Mills says, wabbits, ha ha ha, good one. Chris says, it's duck season, not wabbit season. And then again, Screwy Rabbit.
Well, and my comment really is, at least she doesn't look like Elmer Fudd.
Well, there's that. Terry says,
Good girl.
Terry says, fantastic.
Well, thank you. She is a wonderful, wonderful friend to work with, and a lot of joy getting her out in the desert to go hunt free.
Joyce B asks, doesn't the bell alert her prey?
It really doesn't. You have to understand that her top ends, about 75 miles an hour, and so they can hear the wind on her wings, even more so than the bells. And so the bells are not a hindrance to her at all. The only thing the bell is for is when she gets down in the heavy brush and she's caught a rabbit. I need to go find her, and as she's plucking the rabbit to eat it, then those nice bells ring out so that I can find her.
Landline 51 says, bless the hawk, the human, and the rabbit. The divine plays all parts.
Well, thank you, and it truly is. It is a partnership, and the rabbit is a big part of that partnership. The purpose for these jackrabbits is to be able to fulfill their biological destiny, and their biological destiny is as food for apex predators like the hawk and the eagle and the coyotes and the foxes and those kinds of things. So it is a very, very delicate balance, and we have to be very much aware of that balance so that we don't overstress a population and do damage.
Dark Jerry 92 says, someday we will have cameras that can be attached to birds of prey without hindering them. And when we do, the view will be magnificent.
They've done a lot of videos with cameras on the birds, and it really doesn't do them justice for the simple fact it's on their back, and then you see the back of the head of the bird right back here on the bird, and that's not the view that the bird sees. The bird doesn't have any obstruction in front of their eyesight. And so to have a camera that gives you an actual bird's eye view would remove the hawk or falcon completely. In fact, the closest thing you can get to a bird's eye view are these drones that they fly around where the camera's mounted on them, and you can get a real good idea of kind of how a bird's vision works.
Mediocre Man says, do you ever have a bird who actually lost faith in you? I suppose such things happen when you are still a less experienced falconer.
Well, I've not had a bird ever lose faith in me, but here's the truth of the matter is, I do not own her. I do not command her. Basically, she is the hunter, I'm her dog. And as long as I'm a good dog, she keeps me. But if I ever steal from her, if I ever get abusive and physical with her and break that trust, and that's something that can be done, it only takes once. And if you break the trust with some of these apex predators, they don't forget, they don't forgive, and they will never work for you the same again. And so everything that is done with these animals is done out of love and kindness and gentleness and the understanding that they are in every way in control of the relationship. And if I'm a really good dog, they let me come. So that's the point. A pretty girl.
David T says, thanks for explaining the process of Belle figuring out what's the best food and how to keep her trust. Excellent.
Oh, well, you're very, very welcome. Falconry is truly it's a science, and understanding not only what is appropriate food for them, but also understanding how much, because a jackrabbit is a far richer meat than cottontail, so you have to allow them to eat more cottontail than you do jackrabbit. And of course, they really put on weight if you give them mice. But if you feed them quail, they lose weight because quail is not nearly as rich. And so, understanding the quality of the food determines on how much that you give them per meal.
Gertrude West says, you are amazing, very patient. Also, Belle has you very well trained. That looked like a jackrabbit. Belle must be very strong indeed.
She is very strong, and yes, she does have me very, very well trained. Um, now, Belle is truly, she's a little bit larger than most Harris hawks. She's got extremely large and powerful feet, and that's what she uses to catch the rabbits. But the drawback is with her a little extra size and extra strength and power, um, we lose a little bit of the agility with her abilities to maneuver around, bushes and those kinds of things to catch the rabbit. So she can catch larger rabbits, but the smaller rabbits like cottontail, she has a hard time with because she's not quite as agile. So there is a trade-off.
Gertrude also writes, you need a little Mongolian pony.
A little Mongolian pony. We've had a couple of horses in the past, and we just don't really live in a place. Even though we have alfalfa fields across the street from us, and we have actually places to ride a horse, but not places to ride a horse that has good rabbits, and so we do have to drive a little bit, and so hooking up a trailer and hauling a horse and all of that kind of stuff just adds an extra layer of effort. When I can just let Belle jump into her box in the back of the car, and we can be in the field in 5 minutes, and she can go play. So it's uh, uh, and to be honest with you, if I had my rathers, it wouldn't be a Mongolian pony. If I had my rathers, I love elephants, and I had an opportunity to work with a few elephants back in California. And if I had my way, I'd ride an elephant hawking. That would be my preference. And my wife has given me a really strange look.
Ashley Lynn says, absolutely love these hawking videos with Belle. She's such a sweetie.
She is very, very good. Just like I said, just a dear, dear friend. And as you guys watch, Belle and I talking, one of the nicest things about Harris hawks is when they're happy. And every time I walk over to pick her up, she wags her tail. She has this just cute little tail wag. And so if you kind of watch the video here today, she's been wagging her tail quite a bit because she's pretty happy and comfortable and content. And so watch her little tail just kind of go back and forth.
Cutie Pie Guy says, how exactly does Belle kill the jackrabbit if there's no screaming? I know Belle is powerful now, which is great, but I was just wondering how. Thanks so much, and Belle is beautiful.
Well, unfortunately, a hawk like Belle kills a jackrabbit very much like a lion kills a zebra, which is basically the lion will grab the zebra, get control of it, haul it to the ground, and then wherever the lion ends up, it starts to eat until the zebra dies. And it's not a very humane way of dying. Mother Nature is not necessarily the most humane mother. And so the hawk, very much the same thing, grabs the rabbit, gets control of it, and wherever the hawk ends up, that's where it starts to eat, whether it starts to eating on the rabbit's back leg or it starts to eating on the rabbit's head, just kind of wherever it is. And so it's my responsibility as the falconer to assist her to move in and dispatch the rabbit as quickly as possible. And that period of time between she grabs the rabbit and I get to there and I dispatch it, the rabbit is screaming. And we try not to get much of that on the video because that sound really bothers people, and I understand completely. It bothers me, but you do have to respect that this is part of nature, and this is what hawks do. And as much as I would love to run behind every hawk in the wild, and as they catch a rabbit, break the neck, and then go to the next hawk, that's not possible. But I can as the falconer with Belle assist her so that the rabbit doesn't suffer.
Angie says, Susan, you are a good documentary photographer. Clear images throughout this video.
Susan, someone says you're a wonderful documentary photographer and how nice the videos are.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, Susan's sitting across the room, reading a book and playing with Cody. Cody's kind of laying on the couch with his head in her lap. Belle doesn't particularly like anyone but me, and so Susan's really great with the dogs, but she's a little too fidgety for the Hawks. And so that's one of the reasons Belle's happy, is because we're across the room and it's just her and I. Huh, baby? Yes.
John Coleman says, that was amazing, Martin. Belle gets her sport and you get freezer meat for the critters. UK. He's from the UK.
It is. It's a tremendous partnership. And, to be honest with you, the wildlife rescue work I do, I would not have been able to do it if I hadn't been a falconer and if I hadn't had the relationship with these animals the way I do. This is not only helping to provide food, but Belle, and there she wagged her tail. Belle and Scout and Helen and all the other animals that I work with provide a great deal of moral support for the work I do. It's stressful and it's heartbreaking many times, but I've got some friends that kind of help get me through it.
Robin Z says, that was very interesting how you threw down the beautiful leg to Belle. She guarded that. Then you got the whole jackrabbit. I was wondering how you're going to do that. Thank you for showing us that process. Then you traded the leg for an even better piece of meat for her. Great tutorial. Appreciate how you explain things to us. Thank you so much for all that you do.
Well, you're very, very welcome. And yes, that's a major part of the process. You can never steal from them. If you steal from them, they'll never forgive you. And so you have to make a trade that they think they're getting the better deal. And so, yeah, we step them off their kill, let them eat, and then we'll step them up on the glove for more food, so that they feel that they've been well rewarded for their efforts.
Ernest says, good job, Bella. You are becoming the wise one now. We have to look strong in the mighty.
Well, they are incredibly intelligent. It's always been a tremendous honor to work with them. And I have learned so much in my life. Falconry has been a tremendous teacher.
Feather Baby Mom says, oh my, the bells. I love bells, bells. Such an endearing sound, music to my ears.
Yeah, the bells, like I said, they are strictly to help me locate her in the field. But you do pick bells, when I have an opportunity to buy bells from a bell maker, and I get to kind of go through all of the bells that he has. I sit there and ring the bells individually, and I'm looking for tones that really ring out to my hearing personally, and so the brighter the sound, the better I can hear it, and the further away we can hear the bells, so that we know we're getting close.
Grandma C says, I am happy Belle made a swift kill. I dread hearing the rabbit scream.
Well, and yes, that's a big part of it. I hate hearing the rabbit scream too, and so we do everything we can to dispatch the rabbit as quickly and as humanely as possible. I cannot ask her to not hunt rabbits. That's what she does. That is her biological destiny, is to hunt rabbits. And so we give her all the opportunities to be a Harris hawk, but we try to do it in the most humane way possible.
N.A. Susie says, I respect Belle so very much. She has progressed so much, but I did somewhat enjoy hearing the rabbit scream.
Well, and that's fine. It's to be honest with you, I'm probably a little more sensitive, especially as I get older, and I hate the sound of any animals in pain, and so it's something that does bother me. It is part of falconry. I have to accept it and minimize any pain and injury to any animal that I work with.
Knit Benny asks, any way to donate with PayPal?
Yes, you can go to our website, gowildlife.org, and you can donate right there. There's a PayPal button that you can push and donate.
TS says, hi, Susan, Martin, and dear Belle. She has such a great time.
Yeah, she's a pretty happy little girl. She seems to just love her life, and that's very, very important. Okay, just one more thing. For all of you that are asking all these questions, and I love your questions, I'm going to start doing some very, very short basic falconry videos. Now, what this will basically be is just basically talking about one tiny element. It's going to be a long series, like, this is her hood, okay, and we're going to talk about the hood. We're going to talk about the regulations. We'll talk about the books. We'll talk about how to tie a falconer's knot. And I'm just going to, just as if all of you are my own personal apprentices, and I'm going to try to go through in very short videos as cleanly and as simply as I possibly can to kind of walk you through each of the pieces of equipment and how it's used. Look forward to that. We're gonna start producing these videos soon. December 9th, 4 o'clock. I would like to invite all of you, literally from around the world. We're going to do a live podcast, and I'm going to have all three wildlife ambassadors with us. And I think my son and his family up in Wyoming are going to pop in and say hi, and my daughter, who lives here in Utah, is going to pop in and say hi. Okay, we're going to have a special guest as well, for all of you that have watched the videos and you've heard this wonderful, wonderful background guitar music. We're going to have Casey on, and he's the musician and the writer and performer for that, and it's my birthday, and so we're just going to have a kind of a fun little gathering of everybody, and I would like to visit with everybody and say hi and talk about the critters and all that kind of stuff. So please pop in on Wednesday, December 9th at 4 o'clock, and we'll do a live podcast to say hi to everybody. And if any of you would like to make sure you get your questions answered at this live podcast, if you could email us in advance your questions. That makes it a little bit easier for us to kind of keep track, because it'll be quite hectic. Yes, you're looking everywhere, aren't you, sweetie? It's going to be quite hectic between having lots of screens open and lots of people popping in to say hi, and so if you do have questions for us, either for myself, my sweet wife Susan, my daughter, my son, their families, or Casey, the musician and that does all of our background music for us, or our web geek, DG, please send them to us in advance, and we'll make sure we answer all your questions.